Death at the gates again. Howling my name. Can't greet you today. I have a war to win.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Wolfenstein, the New Order, Uber difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final part of Chapter 6, and previously I had mentioned that this game was a gauntlet game, and I haven't really showed you much evidence to back up that mentality, or that observation, I should say. You're about to see it. This is a 14-minute video that covers one fight, and admittedly I'm going to show you a very safe and practical way of dealing with this fight so you don't get rushed and you don't have to, fight on several different fronts and take massive damage. But that does not get away from the fact that this fight involves a giant hangar room filled with 3 robots, normal dudes, then a second wave of normal dudes, followed by another giant robot. And it's one of the rooms that when you get into it, you just think, what the hell do they expect you to do? And littered all across this place is turrets on gunships. But when you get on the gunships, you're a sitting duck because you can't detach the turrets, which are incredibly useful at killing heavy things, but you can't do it. So the choice is, do you do the risky strategy of using the turrets and, taking a lot of damage, or do you do the cheesy strategy, which involves utilising cover and shooting people when they can't really shoot you so much? And of course I'm going to show you the latter, because that is the easiest strategy. This is the upgraded cutter gun. I think it's got an acronym that I've never read, so I never remember. It's LKW, something like that, LHW. And there's one thing about this gun that I hate, and everything else I love. It's awesome, it's powerful, it recharges a little bit, and there are areas where you can whore it because there's tons of recharge stations. It literally has no downside except for one, and that is its firing mode. For some reason, it has the gun mode and the cutting mode, and when you put the weapon away, or when you die at a checkpoint, it can sometimes change what mode you're in, so you'll pull it out and try and kill a dude who's rushing you, and you'll start just trying to spray him with an inch of flame, as if he's some fucking vent that just got in your way. And it's super annoying, and the amount of times I pull this gun out in panic, or when I really need it to perform, and I'm on the bullshitty cutting mode, licking my little tongue out, doing nothing. Oh, it's so frustrating. So the thing... just bear with it, make sure you've got the right cutting mode on, and hopefully you'll not have any issue, but... this is one of those games at checkpoints before big fights, and if the big fight involves picking up a ton of ammo, you have to redo all of it, reloading your guns, swapping your fire modes. It can get a little tedious, especially the last boss. The last boss checkpoint is horrendous. Instead of giving it you at the top after you kill the first form, it should have given it you when you landed in the room on the second form. Like, who the hell is going to go into that room without checking out everything on top when you know you are chasing potentially the last boss? Only the stupid and the reckless would do that, and it's their own fault if they do at that point. So it just doesn't make much sense, because all it happens is you spend 10 minutes breaking boxes and getting geared up, and then you take on the last boss who can sometimes kill you in a second. So, yeah, not very fun. And that's the 15-minute load screen in between. But this is it, folks. This is the first of many gauntlets to come. Each of these rooms around the outside has some life in it, has some ammo in it, and has some armour in it. I have killed both of the commandos, so no reinforcements will come, and from this point onwards, we need to kill these robots. As you can see, they're everywhere. So the strategy is pretty simple. I am going to kill the robots, and then I'm going to use this room to put my back against a wall to kill the humans. Once the humans are dead, I'm then going to take on the big dude. The big dude is... not very challenging, but every so often he can be a bit of a bugger. I get really low life, and he takes a beating, because this is on Uber, and everything takes a beating. But I'm kind of just eyeing up the room at this point, thinking how I'm approaching it, thinking, I really don't like these robots, but what can you do? And if I had the lens, or the scope on this weapon, I could probably kill these giant robots this early on in the game in maybe one fully charged shot. But instead, I put on the marksman, and I can't see through the glass, so I start breaking it. And I think breaking the glass alerts the robots to my presence, because some of them move quite close. And if you can hear them, because I do have the volume a little bit higher than I normally do for this, in hopes of masking the sound of my computer's fucking fan, which is really frustrating because I've used noise removal technology on it and it's still there, and sometimes it even affects the commentary itself, which I don't want to affect the quality of my voice. So instead I just audio mix it to try and compensate, and hopefully it should be enough. I'm thinking about getting nitrogen cooling for my laptop, for my PC. First thing I'm going to do is solve my problem with my randomly spiking CPU. That I can't be a virus because I've done almost everything the forums suggest. You know, I've cleaned it out, I've got rid of the hard drive space that might have even remotely been stressing it. There's literally no reason for it to do what it's doing. There must be something inside that's not connected right and it's having issue. But once that's done, the two things that I have in store for my machine is to upgrade my i5 processor to an i7 and to change the air supply situation, getting rid of all the fucking fans and replacing them hopefully with liquid nitrogen so that my machine runs quietly. That is, if liquid nitrogen is even quiet. I don't know, maybe it cycles, maybe it sings, you know, fucking Ariel under the sea. I have no idea because I'm not much of a computer guy. But this is me showing you how effective this pistol can be, because it kills this giant robot. And I love it. So there is 2 robots down, there's 1 robot left, and I'm not too sure what triggers the dudes, but that noise just then might have been the reinforcements that are about to turn up. If the humans turn up, you want to jump down the back of these servers and use this area. To my knowledge, these enemies will never enter this room. So all you want to do is move left and right, killing them in their cover spot where that dude is just there. And whenever you start taking hits, get back behind these giant, like, server things. I have no idea what these cubes are. Power supplies, something weird. And this is what you're going to be doing if you follow my strategy. You do this until these guys stop coming, and then you go out into the room and fight the giant robot. Anybody who's trying to be funny, or trying to be sly and wants to sneak past the robot and try and climb the ladder, don't even bother. The ladder has no detection on it and he doesn't climb it. I tried it. So stupid. You could have thrown a grenade at him and climbed up that ladder. Section done. But alas, they thought of that and they made something so that it didn't work. But this is a big room too, and something you need to bear in mind is the AI's pathing is good, but it's not aggressive. One of the main reasons this game is as simple as it is as far as difficulty is because the enemies don't mob you. If they did, it'd be a completely different story. But thankfully, they're pretty, you know, reserved. They just kind of sit back, and a couple of them come forward. If anybody's played Gears of War 3, it might have... Actually, I think it happened in Gears of War 2 as well, in Horde mode. If you were the last person still alive, and it got to the point where the locusts were numbered, as opposed to the big bar, every single locust would roadie run at you like it was the damn multiplayer, and they would swarm you. And if you were on Insane, you either got super lucky with a boom shot, or like a grenade tag or something, or you immediately died, because there was nothing you could do. It was just super aggressive AI, massive damage, nothing you can do. And there's a reason why that kind of programming doesn't work in games, because it's just too dangerous. You know, it's too machiney. Like, it would be like doing a reflex test against a machine, which you will always lose, because your reflex might take 0.5 seconds, and that's really good, but theirs will be 0.01, and you've lost. So, and I think that's something that a lot of people forget when it comes to AI. Some people think AI is you know, not standing there and letting you shoot them, not letting you shoot their foot without moving, you know, being in cover but still having their head out. People think that that is bad AI, when essentially I don't really think it is bad AI. It's just the way that they're programmed to work. You know, it's the way that the game has been programmed so that it gives you a fighting chance. And a lot of people seem to think that the way to fix this is just to make the AI wizards in the environment, so that they never give you an opening, and they're always in cover, and they move super smartly, and they go and they run away and they hide and they take good cover and stuff. But can you imagine how unfun that would be to fight? That'd be like trying to fight someone on Call of Duty who has a clipping spot and you don't have anything, and all they do is camp and clip, and they're extremely good at it with a gun that kills you in 2 bullets. Doesn't sound very fun, does it? And that's the reality. Like, Making AI perfect is not good AI. That's easy to do. Making AI fallible is what's challenging, and that is hopefully, I mentioned this quite a lot in these walkthroughs, that is the thing that excites me the most. Watch this! You see that? That is my pad fucking me when I'm trying to run away from that almost instant death. So yeah, if you've got a faulty left trigger, even though mine's not faulty because it seems to work fine, it's just there's something in there that's registering when I'm not pressing it. Look at it go, it's so frustrating. And did you notice how I didn't get it once during the entire firefight, but as soon as I come to fight this dude, it's happening? There's a part of me that wants to open the pad up, because I opened my PS3 pad up, fixed a sticky button, removed my rumble motors because one of them snapped and I didn't have a soldering kit to solder it back together, so I just took both of them out. And then put it back together and the pad works. And don't get me wrong, it took a while, it was hard to do, and there was a certain amount of crying involved when I just wanted to throw it out the window. But I grit my teeth, I manned up, and I'm happy I did it, because now I can play stuff like God Hand without wanting to break my pad. So part of me wants to, you know, look up a tutorial on YouTube and see if I can do the same with it, to see if there's something with the triggers. Another interesting thing as well is, because it's a smaller pad, when I went back to the official pad, it felt so weird. It felt like a Poundland, you know, PC controller that's just misshapen and strange. So, like, I have 3 grenades that do stun this enemy, but what I'm conscious of is I have low life and the cannon is firing now. The obnoxiously sounding one does a lot of damage. His left arm fires the charged shots. The charged shots are the ones you want. For some reason I'm getting all gassy now, Jesus. But this is probably a sequence where maybe getting on the turrets would be quicker. But I wasn't really looking for speed, because if you die here you have to do the entire room again, I think. 14 minutes worth of gameplay, not my idea of fun. There we go, he's finally dead. But it's... some of the sequences in this game are a little bit hit and miss. The boss fights especially. I actually quite like the last boss. I think it's interesting. There's a boss before the last boss which I think is pointless and stupid and makes no sense. And then there's the London Monitor, which is an interesting fight that's overly long, and it suffers because of that. This one, it's just... the damage scaling on Uber is kind of silly as far as their health. It's scaled up so high. Like, if you play that on normal, that thing dies in seconds. And I wouldn't want it to die in seconds, it's just... sometimes stuff takes far too much. Like, Resident Evils are great for this. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, like every Resident Evil probably, every boss on that game just seemed to take so much more than you ever thought they should. Like, especially on professional. Like, I'm playing through Resident Evil 5 on PC, and I've not played it in like 5 years, and I'm having a lot of fun. But I started on veteran, and some of the bosses just, they take a ridiculous amount of damage. And the AI is absolutely useless. It's kind of tragic how bad that AI is, considering that she has to be with you. But this is the end of the level anyhow, guys. Pick up Caroline and then carry her to the chopper. And then we get to hear the music as we fly out, although the video will probably cut as we're moving on to the next area. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the guide. And as always, you take care now.